How's everybody doing? I just wanted to take this time. I was thinking, and again, as I said to you guys, I'll talk as God speak to me. And so I was just leaving the church, just finished posting the bishop's desk. It's Wednesday, and just want to give all praise to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And I just want to talk about just my perspective, and I hope that my perspective will enlighten somebody, because I'm going to speak to a wide range of people. Forgive me for the shaking of the picture, but the incident with the shooting, the mass shooting in Baltimore, down in Brooklyn, 30 people shot, 2 young souls have lost their life, young girl 18 and a young man 20 years old. All these things touch my heart because I have a 23-year-old son, and I have young sons. I have 4 young men that I've raised. And so I feel like I have a little bit of knowledge. I'll never call myself an expert of anything, but I feel like I have a little bit of knowledge on some of the events that has taken place in people's lives from my own personal experiences, and then being able to overcome the challenges that we all have to deal with living in Baltimore, and being able to raise 4 young men, black young men in America, in a violent city. I hate to say black young men, but that's my reality. They black young men, because I don't see color. Everybody is somebody, because we're all God's creation, and every life matter. I have nothing against Black Lives Matter, but a black life is no better than a white life. A white life is no better than a black life. And so all life matter. However, I understand Black Lives Matter. I understand it because from what I get from it is, what they're saying is, that black man that you killed, he has a mother that loves him. He may not be doing what society say he should be doing. He may not have a college degree, but somebody loves him. And so his life matter. It may not matter to you, but it matters to somebody. And so that's what I get from Black Lives Matter. However, who does Black Lives Matter? Who does Black Lives matter? Who does it matter to when we're constantly being murdered by people that we look like? And again, I said I'll probably speak to a wide range of people. Being a victim of gun violence myself, being shot 13 times in my early 20s, and being able to survive that, being shot in every limb of my body except for my right arm, being shot in my face, my back, my chest, my stomach, both of my legs, and being able to cope with that, because it changes everybody. See, what people don't understand is when somebody gets shot, it changes that person. And now you have to deal with the mentality of this person going on the defense when they were possibly somebody that didn't feel like they need to carry a gun or have a gun in their possession. But now that somebody has offended them and brought an offense against them, now you have another gun in the street because they feel like they need to protect themselves. And you can definitely understand that. And then the one who actually does the shooting, he gets colder and colder, and it becomes a norm to him, where he has no regard for life anymore. So now you have a complex problem. And then you have victims, brothers, sisters, children, nieces, nephews, aunts, uncles, that's all affected by this. And now a lot of these people have vengeance in their heart. And now they're now moving through the city searching, trying to do the police's job to rectify and to resolve the hurt that they're dealing with internal. And so this problem now, it has grown and it has snowballed into something that has gone out of control. But just from my own personal view of the city of Baltimore, which has always had to deal with gun violence, but not to the magnitude in which we're dealing with it now. I see the police in the city, and it appears that the police are a group of people who feel disrespected, and they feel like they can't do their job. And so they sit and they just watch everybody kill themselves. After the Freddie Gray incident, and those police officers were prosecuted, you saw the change in the attitude towards those police officers that once policed with dignity and loyalty towards the community. They sit and they just watch from their cars now, and nobody is being policed. The city is lawless now. And I feel, from my own personal conviction, that the mayor, even though he wasn't the mayor at the time, but the mayor and all the public officials need to come together, apologize to each other for the disrespect that the police may feel. And the police need to police better. They do. But now you see the police sitting in their cars. Young men are standing on the corners of stores loitering. We see signs around the city. It's against the law. And the police are not doing anything. Young men drive their cars, they run the red light. Young women drive their cars, they run the red light, they speed. And so the city is out of control. Police officers are not doing their job. And so what are we paying the police officers for? Something has to be done. A resolution internally has to be done. I hear the mayor, and I hear everybody saying what the city needs to do, and the gun violence and all the illegal guns, which is a real problem. But this is a internal problem from the top, because the police work is not being done, and it's evident. You can see it. Police officers just sit in their car and watch people run the red light. I literally watched a police officer watch the man ride past him and run the red light. The officer did nothing. I literally watched a police officer sit in front of a group of kids, and a marijuana transaction took place, and the police officer did nothing. Do I want people to go to jail? No. But do I want to live in a city that the police officers are not allowing crimes to be broken? Absolutely. I have a 1-year-old granddaughter, and I want her to be able to walk the city of Baltimore and be safe, and to know that if something did happen, that the police officers, that they would do something to try and prevent it. You look in certain communities and you see police officers sitting and patrolling. You go into the black communities, there are no police officers there. And so I just feel like from the top, they need to apologize to each other for whatever took place behind that Freddie Gray case. And they need to move forward, because in the midst of all of their bickering and beefing internally, black lives are being lost at a rapid rate. And so, what do we do? There's a story in the Bible, and it breaks my heart to think about it this way. But some of these young people today, they have gone so far. I honestly believe that some of these young people are hopeless. And I am one that believe in hope because I am a man of faith. But I believe that they have gone so far that they don't care. And the truth of the matter is there are many young men and women and people that are in the streets today that shouldn't be on the streets. And it's just a reality. It's just the time that we live in. And I remember a story in the Bible where Israel had sinned against God. And God allowed Israel to walk around the same mountain for 40 years. And they could not recognize that they had been walking in a circle for 40 years because they were so out of tune of what was going on around them that they did not realize God allowed them to walk in the same circle. But he took care of them, and he made sure that they were okay. But he allowed them to do that because they had rejected him. America, our officials, the government, they have rejected God. They don't pray. They don't acknowledge God. And so because Israel had rejected God, God told Israel that they were going to have to die off in the wilderness. And it's almost like that's where we are here in Baltimore, in a wilderness place. And those that are lost and have no regard for life, who don't care. It's almost like they have to die off or go to jail. And I hate to say that because that's somebody's child, that's somebody's father, that's somebody's brother or sister. And I don't want to see anybody have to die. We have seen enough murder in the city already. Nobody else needs to die. Nobody else needs to lose their life. We've lost enough life. I lost my brother when I was 15 years old to gun violence. And that thing broke me. So I know the feeling that a brother, a sister goes through when they lose their sibling. But what are we to do? Continue to watch black people kill each other and not be policed? Continue to buy more firearms to protect ourselves, and then those firearms end up stolen into the streets and getting into the wrong hands? No, those aren't the answers. The answers are going to have to start from our homes. I know when a child gets to the age of 13 and 14, if you start trying to raise him or her then, it's too late, especially if they're already getting in trouble. The only thing you can do at this point is try to find out what it is that your child like, if you love your child. And if you want better for your child, to try and find out what it is that interests your child. And then take some time and invest in your child's needs and wants and their interests. And hopefully that will begin to change their thought process. The younger children, we have to start setting rules and regulations in their life now. They're young trees. If you notice when they plant young trees in the ground, they put 2 sticks on the side of them and they put wire on them to keep it straight. Because if they didn't do that, the tree would grow towards the sunrise. And so all the trees would be leaning towards the east. So they put the sticks on the tree so the tree will grow straight. In your child's life, those sticks would represent the knowledge, the investment, the time that a child needs in order to grow straight. Nourishment. You can't be your child's friend. I see on social media now a lot of parents, they want to be their children's friend. Well, you got to make a choice when you're a parent. Either you want to be a parent or you want to be a friend. Now, I'm going to clear that up, because when I say a friend, you should be a friend in a sense where you and your child can sit down and y'all can have a friendly conversation. You can give knowledge. Your child looks at you as a person they can trust, but not a friend in a sense of peers, where they do and they say and they're comfortable doing and saying, drinking alcohol, smoking marijuana, smoking cigarettes, doing all the things that if that's what they choose to do, it's more appropriate to do it with their friends their age than with their parents. Because what happens is, it's those little things that create the lack of respect. And then that lack of respect is developed. And then it bleeds over into their life, and it bleeds over into their interaction with other adults. And so I just want to say to all of the parents that I see who hang out with their kids, who at the parties with their kids, who sit down and drinking with their kids, it's not a good look. And I don't care how old your child is, it's just not a good look, because you never change who you are as a parent to your child. The older your child get, the older you get. If you are an older person and you like to sit down and drink with your friends, but don't drink with your children. It's just not a good look. People do it, and you do what you want to do. But this is why the environment that we live in now is so out of control. And you have some people, parents and children, they have these type of relationships, and it's beautiful, but it's not for everybody. Some people can do it, manage it, and still understand and still keep life in the proper perspective. But everybody don't have the same capability. For whatever reason, we don't. Some people lose sight on that just because I can sit and curse at my parent, I can sit and have a drink or smoke a cigarette or smoke weed with my mother or my father and say what I want in front of my mother or father, that I can do that with everybody. Well, you can, but it's not right. And this is why we've lost our vision in our community. And because I'm speaking of the black community, because I am a black man who does not see color, but I am a black man, and I am proud to be a black man. I'm proud of my people. I love Baltimore City. I love Baltimore City. Baltimore City raised me. It made me the tough guy that I am. And it also gave me the knowledge that I have to be able to survive. And so I'm proud to be called the Baltimorean. But I'm ashamed of the way that the leaders are handling the city right now. And so again, if you have young children, raise them right, make them respect you. Put some structure in their life. Put them on a schedule so that their life can have some type of structure to it. Do it while they're young. Don't sit around with your children and watch them do and say wrong things and laugh at it and make a joke at it, because it's going to develop into bad habits. These young men that you see out here in these streets, most of them that's standing on these corners, they have guns. Be wise when you interact with our young black men now, because they're like firecrackers ready to explode. I try to use every interaction with a young brother as a teaching moment, rather than turning my nose up to him or avoiding him. When I pass him, I say, "Good morning, young brother." I let him know that I respect him. I hold the door open for him. Why do I do those things? Because I hope that as he traveled through his day, that he might remember that it was somebody who looked like him that said good morning, that said excuse me, that held the door open for him, or even gave him a comment on the sneakers he had on, or the shirt or the hat he was wearing. I do these things, and I do it purposefully with a meaning behind it, just trying to plant a good seed. Because being a father of 4 young sons, and I've been blessed by God to be able to raise 4 young men in Baltimore City, and they've never been incarcerated. 3 of them has college degrees. The one that don't have a college degree, he has a federal job. He's a father of my 1-year-old granddaughter. He's present in her life. My 26-year-old son has a daughter that is due in November. And they know from me as a father that you must be present in their life. And so I've been fortunate and blessed by God. But what did I do? I raised my sons in the house of God. I took them to church. I made them respect their mom. I made them respect their teachers in school. I didn't allow them to talk back to me. I gave them chores. I made sure that they were involved in positive things. It takes time. You just can't raise a child sitting around all day long doing nothing. It takes time. You have to invest in your children. What you put in them is what you're going to get out of them. And if you don't put any type of investment of your time into your children, this is what you're going to get. Children that walk around all day with book bags and guns in them. Children that stand on the corner and roll marijuana and smoke weed and blow it all in your face. I don't know about you, but I guess I'm the only person that that hate riding in the car, and you ride behind a car and the weed smell is in your car so strong that it chokes you. The whole city is high. And this is a result of our leadership. And I'm not blaming the young brother, but the young brother is our mayor. I wish I could help him, but he needs help. The governor said nobody will be left behind. So I hope the governor put his money where his mouth is, and I hope the governor helps the mayor fix these problems in the city. But again, it's an internal problem. You can see it because the police officers, they are not working. Ever since Marilyn Mosby prosecuted those officers, they have stopped working. And it's sad because our children are dying. They're dying. And we got to stop killing each other. And then you got to deal with the after effect, the PTSD. PTSD, I believe it's PTSD. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. Post-traumatic. That which none of us realized we all suffered with until they gave it a name. The post. The traumatic part, the trauma. Post, after the fact. Dealing with it after the fact, the trauma. I didn't realize that's what I dealt with for years. Being shot in an apartment building. I was afraid to go into an apartment building for years. The PTSD, that's what it was. And a lot of our children dealing with it. And they're not getting any proper help. Any help. But if the police would start policing the right way, and I'm not talking about slamming the kids all up against the car the way they used to do us. I'm not talking about planting guns on them and railroading them and sticking things in their pocket and lock you up, because that's what bad cops do. They always did that stuff. Grab you and then slide something in your pocket and say you had that. They do that type stuff. But I'm talking about the police officers that care. That when they see wrong, they fix the wrong that they see. They're not so quick to pull out the gun and shoot everybody. But the kids are dealing with the PTSD. And we dealing with that. And so I hope the governor, again, put his money where his mouth is on his campaign and help these young kids that need it, that want the help. There's some that don't want the help. And this is why we need the police to police. Because if they police, then some of the things that some of these kids are doing and would do, they might would chill out a little bit because they know the police is watching them. And so I just wanted to share that with my viewers. I was just thinking because in my mind, I just can't imagine somebody pulling a gun out at a cookout and shooting everybody when the cookout is for you to relax, for you to enjoy yourself, for you to go and meet the little girl or that you like, that you've been trying to date. You take this opportunity to run past her and get her phone number and talk to her and then create a relationship with her. That's what the cookout was for. An opportunity. I just can't picture somebody taking a gun and shooting a cookout, seeing all these kids here, knowing people's mothers are here, grandmothers are here, and you pull a gun out and you start shooting. they need to be off the street. And it doesn't matter what their ages are. They need to be off the street. We have to start making everybody be accountable for their actions. These actions that are careless. And so, everybody, please be safe. Watch your surroundings. Ladies, when you're gassing your car, try to gas your car up during the daytime. I know you might be comfortable in some areas, but do things in safe areas. Brothers, every opportunity that you get to encourage one of our young brothers, don't be angry with them. Move past your emotions. Don't say to yourself, look at this Lord, you know what? I hope you go to jail. Don't have that feeling. But say something to him to encourage him. If you have the opportunity, or if the opportunity is presented to you, say something to encourage him. Because that could be your son. That could be your nephew. That could be your family. That could be your sister's son. And so we have to learn how to care for people outside of our own house. We have to learn how to care for people outside of our own house. We can't change everybody, but we daggone sure can try. Have a good night. I want you to go to Community Church Outreach Center and share the videos. Encourage people to subscribe to the channel. And listen, pray. Pray. Because prayer changes things. God hears and he answers prayer. Pray for the mayor. Pray for the governor. Whether you like him or dislike him, pray for him. Because they are the two men that are setting over your city right now. Ask God to give them vision. Ask God to put the right people in the right spaces. And ask God to allow his mercies to flow through the city so that our children can have an opportunity to live. God bless you. God bless you. And God bless you.